Before this video begins, I'd like to say that I do not support J.K. Rowling at all, or her weird bigotry that she's up to. I like to talk about Harry Potter. The books are great. J.K. Rowling, not so much, but I do like her creation, even though she is a bigot. Anyway, onto the video. Harry Potter is a franchise I've liked since, well, I was a little kid, because it pretty much has always been there for me. I was born in 2000, so I've read a lot of the Harry Potter books and watched the movies. Though, of course, when you get older, you realize the books are way better than the movies, even though both of them have flaws. The books have less flaws, the movies have a lot more flaws, but whatever. Anyway, one thing I'm really interested in, that I've always been interested in, since I was like early teen maybe, was seeing the book covers. I always liked the book covers, but have you really looked at some of these book covers? So, yeah, let's get into them. I'll start with the main one right now. This is the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, the original UK release, which is also the same as the Canadian one, basically. Bloomsbury and Raincoat, which is the publisher in Canada, are pretty much the same. And this is the first one we get to see a glimpse of Harry, way back in early 1997. And this is an okay cover. You know, it looks like Harry's about to get run over by the Hogwarts Express. But yeah, having the Hogwarts Express as the main thing is pretty neat, even though, from the looks of it looks like the Hogwarts Express right next to a modern-day train. Also, Harry looks a little dopey there. His hair doesn't look... it looks really weird. It's supposed to be messy, but it looks kind of like formal. It's only like... it's like business... it's like messy in the front, but kind of calm in the back. But overall, it does go off the sense of what it is. The biggest problem with the UK releases is that the top part is a giant bar that says Harry Potter, which obviously is not that great because we like the Harry Potter font, which was introduced by Scholastic, I believe, because that's the American version that first introduced that. Speaking of which, let's take a look at the American version of the cover. I do like this artist for giving us characters like Winky, so we get to know what that character looks like, since she's not in the movie. But there's also one thing I mentioned with these chapter illustrations for talking about the covers, is that this is not what I expect Snape to look like. In fact, these two are from the same illustrator, but different parts of the books. One's from Prisoner of Azkaban, one's from, I think, Half-Blood Prince. But yeah, this is what Snape looks like. The lefty looks like he's Jafar from Aladdin. He's got a receding hairline back there, and I didn't expect him to have a beard/goatee. But yeah, that's what Snape looks like in the books. Kinda, did not expect that. See, even though the books, I have my own version a little bit, for the most part, I do follow some of the movie things, because some of the character changes I do, but Snape is pretty much always like the movie version, maybe a little younger, because Alan Rickman does a great job, but man, Snape with a beard looks weird. Anyway, this is the cover of the Sorcerer's Stone, which they changed, because they thought Americans were too stupid to know what a philosopher was. Thanks. It's a lot more dynamic here. Harry looks a lot better here. You can see what the Quidditch uniform looked like, which is kind of strange. He's wearing regular shoes and jeans, but with a kind of striped shirt and a cloak. I think the movie design is actually much better, but in the books is what they actually look like based off the other illustrations. I don't really know, actually. But it's a little weird abstract. Where the hell is Harry? He's supposed to be at the Quidditch stand, right? He's playing Quidditch, catching the snitch, but he looks in some of the castle borders, but also not, because the castle's in the background. And we get to see Fluffy, whose three heads are on top of each other. Very strange, and of course the most important thing about the book was the fact there's a unicorn in there who's running. I guess they wanted to, like, put all the magical things in there. Well, Quidditch is kind of cool, running a broomstick, you know, there's a unicorn in there, right? And, Fluffy, but it seems like they jumped way too much in there. I do like it for the most part, and it is better artistically. I do like the illustration style of whatever her name was. I'm sorry, I forgot your name. I'm bad with names. But yeah, it's neat. And a lot of other covers would take this illustration, but a lot of them would do their own thing. Oh, before I go, I forgot to mention that these are wraparounds, at least the American version, so the back and front are one big image. And you know what? They look pretty cool that way. There's Al, there's Dumbledore running away from something and sneaking around with a candle. I have no idea what that's from. But other than that, pretty cool. There's a random bludger up there. Pretty beat. So really I wanted to show you what the main original illustrated version looked like, because I could do another separate video talking about these covers forever. But I'm really going to look at some of the strange international ones, and maybe some of the main UK and American ones. This is the one of the later releases of the Sorcerer's Stone, where they redid the cover. But you don't see these as much as often as you see the original ones, but it's neat. All these later ones have way better illustrations, now they kind of have a better understanding of what the world's like. And yeah, one thing the American Scholastic version do have better over the UK one is the fact they have the Harry Potter logo there, which is iconic enough that it's in all the movies. It's just well styling. It has the it's kind of the edge, it kind of like jagged. It kind of represents kind of the wacky world, as well as kind of like fancy, like fashionably magical crap. It's good font. Plus, I love the scar implemented into the P. And yeah, so we're not gonna talk about the good covers unless we mention that's one really interesting. They will mention some strange UK and American ones before we go on to the weird covers. On the first edition of Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, there's some random guy in the back. I have no idea who this guy is. And I guess no one else knew either because he got replaced by Dumbledore in later editions. Weird dude. A lot of the UK ones are mixed back since there are different illustrators for each one. Some look great, some look okay. This is probably one of the worst ones because someone just read the title or the Phoenix. Oh, there must be a Phoenix in there, and they just drew a Phoenix and fire around it. If you read the book, you know there's nothing to do with this. In fact, Fox is there for like a little bit. The actual Phoenix itself, because Or the Phoenix is just a group that Dumbledore created. And he likes phoenixes. Oops. They really didn't think this one through at all. They probably just heard the title like, oh, Phoenix. You know, Fox really only had one main role in the book, which is really just the Chamber of Secrets. The only thing that was really major. Other than that, just Dumbledore's pet bird, and that's about it. Yeah, it's a very strange cover. Like, there's like no main characters, just Fox the Phoenix, who's, like I said, not really in the book. It says Or the Phoenix, doesn't mean that it's about a phoenix, but whatever. And the final book in the UK release is a very strange cover. It's in, of course, the Green God's Vault where all the treasure's coming out, but doesn't fit the tone of the book at all. In fact, the illustrations for Harry, Hermione, and Ron look really dopey. Hermione, I don't know what she's doing. It looks like she's throwing stuff, but it's like, ugh. And there's Ron looking like, ooh. Harry's like, ooh. It's just very strange. This is the only book cover that I feel like did this scene, because it's just like, of all the scenes in Deathly Hallows, there's a lot to choose from. That's gonna make it climactic. This is kind of a very strange scene to choose from, for being honest. And also the faces look really derpy there. It looks very different from the first Harry drawing in the first book. Same series, they have different... The fact that the illustration looks so much different is pretty crazy. But yeah, the UK ones have a little iffy ones, but the Half-Blood Prince and Prisoner of Azkaban and God of Fire covers are fire in the UK. I really don't have much to say about the American ones. They're good to fine. Prisoner of Azkaban one, it looks a little dopey, especially compared to the UK one. It looks a little flat. Hermione's face looks weird, and it's alright, but the Harry's weird cape and like shoe pants combo is kind of bizarre. It made you look at it more, especially compared to the UK version, which looks like this. That one just looks way better. It just looks cooler. It fits, I don't know. It looks better, alright? Another oddity from the UK is that when the first books were being released, they made a adult version, which is, like I said, realistic cover for each one. I have no idea what this even means. Do they change the writing? I have no idea. I don't have any of them. Let me know in the comment section below if you know about these adult covers, but I find it weird. Books, I just find it weird that they even did something like that. Like, why can't you just read the regular book? Oh well. Apparently the adult versions were popular enough to have a second edition with different cover art. Like I said, I don't understand what's the point of having an adult version of a book. I think most collectors, Harry Potter fans, would just want the higher detailed covers rather than whatever the hell this is going on. It looks like crap, honestly. I don't understand the color theory. Doesn't work very well, especially for Harry Potter. This blue and pink combo doesn't work at all. Especially these are the remastered covers for the UK, and look at how much better the Order of the Phoenix looks here. And they even got their they have their own Harry Potter font there. It looks pretty cool. Yeah, the remastered, these other arts are pretty great, but we didn't go on to the crazy covers. Keep digressing. Let's go on to the weird covers. I remember seeing this copy as a kid of the Sorcerer's Stone in America, and it's bizarre. They choose the weirdest chapter of Nicholas Flamel of, I think, Quirrell running into the forest as the cover. And it's just a random black white image on the blue back, and we had this paperback cover copy for some reason. I don't know why. We had the main ones and this. I'm very confused. It's just a bizarre, like, oh, we'll pick a cover image and put it on there. Done. They could have chosen something better, let's be honest. There's also these, which I'd never seen before, for the 20th anniversary, where they wrap around these weird, kind of bizarre looking covers that have a snake branching out, which is, I don't get. Why? Was that Hagrid holding an egg? What was wrong with his hands? I don't know, this cover does nothing for me, and the rest of the cover of the series look like this too. It's just really weird. Don't like it. Like this is just disturbing looking. Like, what's going on here? Why is Dumbledore's face so huge, and why is he staring directly into my soul? I don't like these covers at all. Alright, now let's go into the international covers of Harry Potter. This is the Bosnian cover of Deathly Hallows, I believe. They're on this top, but this is easily the worst one. What the fuck? Why does Harry look like the for dummies guy? What the this is official! What the fuck? I've actually never seen this one before. I've seen a lot of them, but I haven't seen this one. What the hell? You can kind of get what they're going for with the first one here, but why's the three little owls there? They look different, like different art styles, and there's like the one chest person just staring up. It's like someone's kids drew this. Why does he have big ass lips? This is the Chamber of Secrets one. It's not as bad, but then you look bottom left, like, why is Mrs. Norris dead? Is one of the main things they put in this book. They got Harry in the basilisk. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. There's a little Fox Phoenix thing. But what if we had Miss Norris dead on the floor as well as the illustrations? I mean, what am I supposed to say to these? Bosnia, you have the great covers. And these were what Harry Potter looks like in Bulgaria. Not initially, they originally used the American covers, but then someone's like, hey, for the anniversary, let's do our own illustrations. And, well, it looks like, say, it's not as bad as the Bosnia, but it looks like someone's, like a little kid's painting, or a little teenager's painting. This is supposed to be Godfire, by the way. Those are the mermaids. Were they not called mermaids? I'm rereading the series right now. It's not very good looking. Also, that's Harry's feet from Gillyweed, I guess. Yeah, these, why would you change the cover to this if you already used the American one, Bulgaria? What were you thinking? But not all international covers are bad. Here's the Chinese cover. Pretty cool. I like it. I don't know who that giant witch... Oh, that's the chess person. Never mind. It's abstract. It's really cool. I like it. And even included the scar into the Chinese lettering. Pretty neat. I don't know why in the Deathly Hallows they make Voldemort crouch like a little baby, but other than that, everything else is fine here. You gotta love the Danish cover here. Look at that. He's like breaking through the mold, and Harry shooting lightning at the sky. There's a giant hole and cliffs and stuff. Everything else is fine, but just the real boy, random with generic wizard hat and a broomstick, is just hilarious. And the breaking through, it's just a weird combination of things. It's just a random kid shooting lightning at the sky while Quidditch is playing in the background. That happens a lot in the first book covers. The Chamber of Secrets cover is fine at first. Harry looks kind of awkward on his broom catching the snitch, but then you see a giant snake. Like, what? When the hell that happened? Oh wait, that's the basilisk. It's strange they made it like a cobra, and it also seems like it's bigger than the entire world. But oh well, it's big, but not that big. The Danish covers do get better as they go on, but why in Order of the Phoenix is he like holding this laugh or something? I don't know what the hell's going on there. I know those are Thestrals, but is that Dementor behind them? I don't really know. And why is he making that face? Don't know. But I gotta say, that Deathly Hallows cover is epic. Harry's leading the charge with all the random things. I guess they threw a bunch of random stuff out there, but it's pretty epic. The Dutch covers are kind of lazy. They just have here's a clip art of a kid on the broom in the background only. It's fine, it does the job, but it's not that exciting. They actually get worse as they go on, which is shocking. The Deathly Hallows one here is a random splash and a really shitty looking dragon, and a really bad clip art of a deer for the Patronus with a bad glow effect. Jeez Louise. A lot of people don't like the finished designs, not because it's bad. It actually features all the main three characters there, just that the designs are really bizarre. Apparently Harry's got the broccoli cut, and so does Ron. Hermione's hair is bushy, but she has weird ponytails and giant noses for some reason. Hey, they got her buck teeth. The Chamber of Secrets one is really bizarre. That's Gilderoy Lockhart, by the way, apparently, if you didn't know. What a weird scene to depict, the Flourish of Blot scene, like where he's hugging Harry, but it is kind of hilarious. Gilderoy Lockhart in the second book's hilarious. They underutilize him in the movie, but they do that a lot in the movies, so what do you expect? Also, the Malfoys, which I assume are in the background, don't have blonde hair. How do they mess that up? I don't know. I forgot how bad the finished covers can get. This is the Order of the Phoenix, probably the worst one so far. What's confusing about this is that this is depicting two scenes. One, Harry with a weird coat and cut off nose being held by a frog woman. That's Umbridge. She looks like a monster. And I guess she was described as being ugly as in the book, like a toad-like, but I guess they took it a little too far there. Also, what you're thinking, why is there two Harrys? On the left, that's his dad. And when he's looking at the pensive, you can see in the bottom. And below her, that is his mom just looking down, and there's Snape in the background. Very odd to depict two random things that don't connect at all from the book. And also, I don't think you can even put the pensive scene of Harry's dad there. It just doesn't work as a cover unless you do a giant collage of different things. Especially here, just very confusing. And why is Harry wearing a beanie? Here's the French cover. It's nice. It's okay. They got lazy by the end book. They're like, what should we have Harry do? He's just gonna be staring at a cliff. Alright. The French covers aren't really exciting. Let's go on to the next one. The German covers are pretty unique. They actually have a unique style. I kind of like it. It's kind of like more like artsy. I don't know. It's kind of like a kid, like, yo, where am I? Like Harry's giving like a upper eyebrow DreamWorks face. But basically, they have the same thing where Harry's always in the front doing that weird face, and there's always something from the book in the background. It's very well done and fits the tone of the book, even though it is, like I said, it has a little bit like, yo, we're a little edgy, even though really it's not what Harry Potter's about. But hey, it's fun. And this one looks like Harry's taking a selfie with a giant dog. This one's kind of crappy, actually. There's like not a whole lot going on there. This one's even more bizarre because it looks better, stylized, but then you realize that Harry is staring at us in the foreground, but he's also in the background on his broom. So those are two Harrys? Who the hell knows? I guess he thought that he had to keep it through because there's multiple covers where Harry's in the foreground, but he's also in the background as well. And I haven't mentioned a lot of Half-Blood Prince covers because they're mostly just the same scene. They're all done fine. But this is the one I had to mention because, you know, Harry looks really bad there too. He looks like he's middle-aged. And here's the epic battle between Harry and Voldemort. Well, not really, because it's the scene where Harry dies. And they even have the Nagini in the force field, which is a kind of weird title thing. But you gotta love Voldemort's power stance there. As Harry, at the foreground's like, I give up, I have macaroni hair. This is Indonesia's second cover. The first one was just the American cover. But look at this art. Fantastic. I love this a lot. And they do this with all the books. In the center, we have one giant animal character from the book. Like, the third book, we Buckbeak, second one was Fox. The fourth one here is with the Hungarian Hornback, and got a bunch of characters from the book around it, depicting little bits of scenes from the book. It's fantastic. I love this concept. I wish I had a little bit more color in the text and blend in so much of the top, but other than that, it's pretty great. And here it is, one of the most infamously bad Harry Potter covers from Italy. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Apparently, there's a giant rat, Harry's wearing a giant rat head, and they're just playing chess. What the fuck? Apparently, in the second book, he trades his rat head for a dragon or lizard head to fly on a giant book. Which, doesn't happen, does it? He flies on a giant owl in his dreams, but I have no idea what the fuck this is even depicting. This doesn't even happen in the Chamber of Secrets. What the hell is going on here in Italy? By the third book, they all seem to actually depict what's going on in the book, and they're just fine. But the first two covers of Italy are just bizarre. This isn't that great, but it's actually from the book. What the hell was the giant book when the lizard hat? Was it with the giant rat and the rat hat? I don't know. I do not know. Bad translation, maybe? Who knows? Here is the Japanese design. Interesting enough, they decided to go for a chalk drawing, which has a pretty unique style, and it's very atmospheric for all of them. They're all pretty interesting. They have more atmospheric than anything else. Not really depicting really scenes, just kind of like the vibe of each book. The interesting thing about the Japanese covers is the fact that they come into twos, because the 4 through 7 comes in 1 and 2. This is how Japanese books are. They don't like having giant books. They'll have 2 parts. I guess that's my only theory. I don't really know. When they were released in 2022 in Japan, they make every cover look like it's part of a giant epic anime series. Makes me wonder what that would look like in Harry Potter universe. It'll be pretty cool to see. But yeah, those covers are pretty cool if you're an anime fan, to see what Harry Potter looks like in that style. Officially, from Japan. Remember that book flying thing from the Italy cover? Well, apparently in Portugal, they also had that for Chamber of Secrets. The first cover is nothing, it's Harry's foot and an owl. But I guess he realized this cover is so bad that apparently the rest of the Portuguese covers are just the American ones. Yep, you messed up bad. That's what happens. Also, what's with that font there? Is it like a little baby font? What the hell? This color looks familiar. Yeah, instead of just taking the original, regular American covers, the Spanish cover decides, hey, we're going to have new illustrators really re-illustrate it. Well, there is some depth improvements. There are some setbacks. I like the unicorn reflection. There's no weird pillars in the way, and Fluffy's heads are not up and down rather than side to side, but it's not as good as the original. Also, Harry forgot to tie his shoes. The Spanish covers, for the most part, are okay, but they do seem to decline in quality as they go on. Like, they get worse and worse. Like, the first 3, they're pretty decent, and then you get to this one where Harry's glasses are too oval-shaped, and it looks a little derpy. Sweden's like, we're not gonna F around. Here's some crazy-ass art for our first book. We got the Hogwarts Express, we got owls, Harry's floating in midair, and a bunch of crazy crap's going on. I don't know what's going on, but I love it. Also, the moon is ginormous. I mean, this Chamber of Secrets cover from here is fantastic. Look at that, that's awesome. I don't know what pixies are there, but it's awesome. Look at Harry riding that Thresher. Look at him. He's got that power pose going on. Like, he knows he's gonna kill you. That's what it looks like. He's about to go into a fight, but I guess they kind of did in the Thestrals. But you know, it looks really cool. And you know what? I like the Deathly Hallows cover. It's very introspective, and I kind of like that. It kind of fits the theme of the book and all the Horcrux stuff going on. It's great. Sweden, you nailed it. You knocked it out the park with these covers. So Ty also reused the other cover style to their anniversary one, which it was on top post on the Harry Potter subreddit, because these covers are fantastically done. They all have the same thing, where the main thing in the middle, is characters on the side. It's very well done and illustrated. It's very beautiful to look at. Here's Ukrainian. It has a lot going on, but it doesn't really mesh together. Well, there's a lot of green going on. Why does Dumbledore have a castle hat? Why is Ron staring at me like that? Other than that, it's fine. These covers are kind of strange for Hungarians because they look right but wrong at the same time. The faces look really bad here, and this one's probably the worst because Buckbeak's not brown. Come on, every other cover got him his right color. Come on, Hungary. Come on, no wonder you guys are so hungry all the time. But yeah, that's about it for Harry Potter covers. I talked a lot. This video is probably going way longer than it should. I could talk about these forever. So if you want me to talk more about it, leave a comment section down below. Here's another tie cover for you because the tie covers are great. And yeah, if you're ever bored, go to the Harry Potter cover section. Just look at all the unique ways they did it. I covered most of the weird ones and some of the great ones. But I could always cover more and go into depth about the main US versus UK ones if you want me to. But yeah, thank you for watching and stay tuned for more videos. Bye bye. See you later.